Welcome to the Dr. B Show, sponsored by 111 Spa and Aesthetics. For Season 1, I'm speaking with Hispanic professionals and leaders in HR and business, all with the purpose of giving back to our communities. Enjoy today's episode. Hi, this is Dr. Jairo Borja, and welcome to the series premiere, the season premiere of the Dr. B Show. I am your host, Dr. B, Dr. Jairo Borja, and in this first episode, we talk with J.W. Cortés, actor who was Alvarez on the show Gotham on Fox, his upbringings, his life as a Marine, and also his time that he puts into philanthropy. So I appreciate you listening and hope you enjoy. All right, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I'm your host, Dr. B, Dr. Jairo Borja. I have a very special guest, El Señor J.W. Cortés. J.W., how are you, sir?
I am so good. Thank you so much for having me, Doctor.
It's an honor. It's an honor to have you, man. So let's get right to it, man. So tell me about your time growing up in Sunset Park, in Brooklyn. Did you play any sports growing up? What were some of your favorite teams as well?
Let's answer those in reverse order. So I'm a diehard Yankee fan.
No, it's over. I'm a Mets fan.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah, my favorite player was a guy named Don Mattingly, number 23, the
Mr.
first
Baseball.
baseman of the New York Yankees. Yes.
Yes.
So, I grew up in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, during the 80s and 90s. And Brooklyn, Sunset Park in particular, was an interesting area because it was like Little Puerto Rico, and then it became a mesh of Little Puerto Rico and Little Dominican Republic. And that's kind of sort of how my upbringing was colored,
Right.
It was painted with these beautiful strokes of
Right.
Latin food, Latin music,
Exactly.
the culture, and that was the beautiful parts of it. Obviously, Sunset Park was not exempt from all of the crime that
Right.
had infested New York City, and so we suffered a great deal actually at the hands of the crack and AIDS epidemic.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Yeah. So that was a lot of my upbringing. I'm born and raised with two amazing and proud Puerto Rican parents who
Awesome.
really instilled in me the love of culture and of our heritage, and even more so importantly, I think our contributions to this country.
Yeah.
We should never feel like we don't belong because we've made the ultimate sacrifices as a people. And so
Right.
that was important for my parents.
Absolutely. And then playing sports, what did you play growing up? Did you play any sports at all?
So growing up, in the urban environment, we didn't have access to certain things.
Right.
And so we made do. So really popular on my block was baseball, wiffle ball.
Yeah.
Basketball was tremendous. The
Yeah.
games, the 3-on-3 pickup games were like championship games every night. You didn't want
Exactly.
to lose.
Exactly.
You didn't want to come off the court.
Exactly. You lose. I remember you win, you stay in court. You lose, you're out. You never wanted to
You're
come off
out.
court, right? Yeah.
You never want to come off, and you got
Yeah.
how many guys got next? And it's like 10 guys. Like, never gonna get back up. And football, two-hand touch. Was
it
really
two-hand touch or
popular.
like us, like the hard two-hand touch, like almost like
Hard.
tackle?
Yeah, and then we would play sewer cap to sewer cap. That was the field.
touchdown.
And,
Exactly.
and if cars were coming down the block, sometimes you got to hold on, man. You got to just wait. This is for game.
Delay game, right?
So those were the sports.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. Tell me about your time in the Marine Corps. And now from those experiences in the Marine Corps, how do you apply those to your everyday life today? I guess it's a 2-part question.
Yeah. So I spent nearly 13 years of my life in the Marine Corps. I joined the Marines right after high school because, to be very honest with you, I was a knucklehead. I was being led astray by an older brother who was really involved in some pretty horrific things, and at the behest of my parents, especially my mom, who would just cry to me, say, "Listen, what are you doing? You're going down the wrong path."
Right.
and I, as much as I thought I was ready for college, I don't think I would have been successful because I lacked the discipline,
Right. Right.
And so I thought the Marines would kind of shape me up, and just for a few years, but I wound up loving it.
That's
And
good.
I got to serve in a lot of different places and see a lot of the world and live in a lot of different countries. And so that really opened up my eyes, And
Right.
in 2003, I was part of what was known as the invasion of Iraq.
Yeah.
And that changed my life.
Yeah.
It completely changed my life
Yeah.
on so many different levels.
Yeah.
In some ways, not so good, but in other ways, very good,
Right.
because it I guess someone who maybe beats cancer, or someone who's in a really horrific car accident and walks away from it
Right.
when they should have been dead, that's how I felt.
Right.
And so with that recalibrated vision, I said to myself, no se tan pendejo. If
Right.
you have dreams,
Right.
now is the time to do something about it. Stop thinking about it. Stop procrastinating.
Right.
Procrastination is the root of all evil, by the way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I learned a lot. I experienced a lot. I got to lead troops in the theater of combat.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer the second part of your question, everything that I've been able to do in my life since that moment has been in large part because of what I learned in the Marine Corps. So number one is discipline. Discipline has a lot of negative connotations to it for a lot of people. They hear the word discipline, they think of being disciplined as a child.
Yeah.
They think of like the drill instructor yelling at you.
Mm-hmm.
But really, discipline can become your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And what it can do is it can equate to freedom, right? Freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you stop procrastinating, you stop with the excuses, you stop carrying on your back and in your mind these heavy burdens
Yeah.
that we're always so guilty of, and you release them by attacking them and making them your friend, and that gives us thus the freedom. And so discipline, which I learned in the Marine Corps, number two is you're never out of the fight.
Yeah.
Marine Corps always says, if you're still breathing, you have a chance to win this fight. You find a way, whether it be clawing, throwing sand. I mean, you name it. You pick up a chancleta.
Exactly.
Right? That pilon. You see that pilon back there?
I see the pilon.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it takes,
exactly.
find a way to win. And that's also things that you learn in the Marines, and and then to be a critical thinker, think outside the box. I think a combination, a sancocho, if you would, of those types of things have allowed me to find the successes that I've had.
That's good, man. Thank you for your service, man. I didn't before for anything else. I appreciate it. You have no idea. Thanks, man. Thank you. Great answer. So I read your IMDb. Tell us how you got into acting, one, and two, how did you land the role of Alvarez on Gotham?
So it's interesting. So in 2003, we were told we're going to go invade Iraq, and we land in Kuwait. Kuwait is considered, quote unquote, like the neutral place that we're going to land in, and then we won't see action until we cross what's known as the LOD, line of departure, into Iraq. So once we cross the LOD, it's game on.
Right.
Well, the second we landed in Kuwait, literally within moments, we came under a very heavy attack of Scud missiles. Mm-hmm. Saddam Hussein, I guess in his own right mind, said, if I can stop them from coming into my country, if I can mitigate that, then we'll be all right. So he started to lob these huge rockets at us, and that's the first time that I said, wow, this is real. And number two, this is going to end. And so, the term, your life flashes before your eyes. Well, that's what happened to me. My life flashed before my eyes. And I thought of everything. I thought about mommy and papi and my brothers. Yeah. And I thought about this kid who really loved to act and sing in high school, but never did anything about it. Right. So it was at that moment that I felt like a sangano, because I had taken life for granted. Yeah. And I just made a decision. I said, I'm never, ever going to allow myself to feel this way again. I mean, ever.
Right.
So that was the impetus, right? The onus was on me to start, doing something. And I started to, I came home, I settled down, I met someone, and I got a full-time job. And I started to very quietly go to these acting classes. I was the oldest guy in the room. I thought I had missed the boat. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Right.
I was way better looking, younger, really talented.
Right.
But the Marine in me was like, you can't quit.
Never quit, right? You're not
never quit, right? Never out of the fight.
Never out of the fight, exactly.
So here I am. I'm going to acting school, and then I started to go on auditions. And every once in a while, I would get lucky with like little tiny things, saying one word or one line.
Exactly.
And eventually, the more you do, the better you get. I landed a couple roles, and then it led me to landing my first recurring character role. And I became the first human to play this comic book character named Detective Carlos Alvarez on the Fox primetime hit series Gotham.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's a long answer. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. I know. So take a breath. You have your breath. That's awesome, man. So what did you like most about your time on the set and your experience from Gotham?
Gotham was great. The people, the people and the fans is just incredible. But the people that you never see, the people behind the camera, the assistant camera operators, the gaffers, the grippers, the guests. Almost every episode always had a guest director who would come in and do his or her thing. And it's always great for me, I love working with creative people. It's a certain language, a certain vibe to it. I love that. And that's what I miss is seeing their faces and just being creative, trying things, playing, playing. And
what was your biggest takeaway from being on the show, going forward? I guess now that that was your first recurring role, like what did you learn from that now could help you towards your next role?
I think as an actor, one of the things I was surprised to learn is how little rehearsal time goes into it. I guess once you're at that level, you're considered a professional actor. You're being paid, and they expect you to come ready to play, not discover. Not like when you're in acting school or doing a play. You rehearse for a certain weeks, and you're experimenting things. When you're working on a TV show, you're expected to come ready to do what you do, and then we'll see from there. And sometimes we would rehearse literally as the camera was being set up.
Right.
I'd run some lines with Gordon, and we would do our thing. And that was definitely something new. Number two, nobody ever really talked about their method. I thought we would have this jargon, this going back and forth. Like, hey, what do you do? Well, I'm Stanislavski. I'm a method actor. They don't talk about that.
Not at all. Not at all. Right?
Not at all. But that was that one thing. Number two, having trust and confidence is probably two of the most important things that an actor can bring to the work for themselves. Right. If you have no confidence, man, you're in deep waters. And, it's probably not going to go well. So having confidence, fake it till you make it. It's true.
Yeah. At least you admit it.
Yeah, it's very important. Very important. But the biggest takeaway too is the impact that you can have on people's lives. I can't tell you how many times I was working in New York City, my regular job, and somebody would walk past me and I'd see it, and they'd have like a moment, and they'd come back and they go, Alvarez. Yeah. And I'd be like, no, JW. They're like, do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's a moment right there, especially with the person who's young. You know, you can say something that 10 years from now, they'd be like, listen, that day I met you in New York City.
Exactly.
You changed my life.
Right.
So that's really powerful and really special.
That's awesome. Hi, Dr. B here. Are you struggling to get rid of stubborn fat but don't want to have plastic surgery? 111 Spa and Aesthetics non-invasive slimming massage can help you get the body you always wanted. 111 Spa and Aesthetics can also help you when it comes to cellulite treatments and body contouring massage. 111 Spa and Aesthetics offers a full range of skincare services, including facials, acne, scar treatments, skin tightening, microdermabrasion, and more. 111 Spa and Aesthetics are trained professionals with extensive skincare experience and utilize only the best equipment possible. For more information, please visit their website at www.111aesthetics.com. That's 1-ONE-11 ELEVEN, SpaAesthetics.com, located at 10 East Moonachie Road in Hackensack, New Jersey, 07601. And to make an appointment, don't miss out, 201-520-1777, 201-520-1777, 111 Spa and Aesthetics. How did it work between your employment and then with acting? Did you have to take time off? Did you have to kind of work around your schedule? How did that work? I always wanted to ask you that, man.
Yeah. So being a full-time police officer in New York and a father, a husband, and an actor, yeah, time management skills have to be on point.
Absolutely.
So the show never accommodated around my work schedule.
Right.
So I had to make it work. I had to figure it out. So what I would do is sometimes I'd work with, so I have a really great schedule because I've been on the job for so many years, seniority.
Sure.
So some of the rookies would have to work every weekend, but my show doesn't tape on the weekends. It tapes during the weekdays. So I would offer a young guy, like, hey John, you want to go out Friday night with your boys? I'll work it for you so you can go out. And they're like, what? Are you serious? I'm like, yeah, no, it's, you're a great guy, So,
wink, wink.
That day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was cool. I was able to do that. And then sometimes I just worked out with my schedule that I didn't have to. Or if I had to travel to LA, then you just had to be creative with it,
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And then you would leave and come back, right? And then be at your post, right? Right on time, right? For whatever it was, right? Friday, whatever.
Nothing more two things nothing is more humbling than number one, going back to working a foot post.
Exactly.
And having somebody curse you out,
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know who I am? I'm like, yeah, we don't care.
Okay.
Or coming home after like walking a red carpet premiere or something.
Exactly.
My wife telling me, are you done playing? Because the kids need a bath and the garbage needs to be taken out.
Exactly.
And walk the dog. And I'm like,
but exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So what projects are you working on? Whether it's acting or just in business in general? I know we had treaded lightly conversations, a couple of during the grand opening of that bank here in Jersey. What are you working on now at this time?
Creatively, there's a new single that just dropped. Sony just dropped a remix of a really popular country record.
Okay.
It's called Homesick.
Okay.
It's by a young man who's widely successful, a huge superstar. His name is Kane Brown. And so they wanted to do a remix of the song, so I was invited to sing on it. And who would have thought a kid from Brooklyn would be singing on a huge country record?
Exactly. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so Homesick. And what's cool is that every time that it plays or streams, they're going to go ahead and donate one bag with the help of Crown Royal Liquors to our essential and critical and military families. So they're going to do 1 million bags this year.
Wow.
So that's cool. I was about to do a major feature film, and because of COVID,
right,
it hasn't happened. And I'm hoping at some point, either within this year or maybe even longer,
right,
we'll get back to it. But yeah, it's on the downside.
Okay.
As far as business goes, now that I'm closer to retirement, personally, I'm just looking at some real estate options.
Okay.
Real estate seems to be where I need to focus on.
Yeah.
I started a clothing line
Okay.
based on my love of silverbacks.
Okay.
My favorite animal.
Okay.
It's called Silverback Spirit. This is a gym apparel line. It's doing pretty well.
Okay. Good stuff, man. Good. You gotta give us the information at the end as far as where to find the stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, man. What advice would you give aspiring Latinos either trying to break into acting and or starting their business today? As a two-part question.
Yeah. What I always say is success always leaves clues.
Right.
Find those people that you think are wildly successful.
Mm-hmm.
Study them, research them, use Google, find out what were some of their trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
You'll find that they leave clues.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't have to always reinvent the wheel. We just have to simply pay attention.
Right.
One. Number two, you have to learn and study your craft and become so passionate. Now, the word passionate here is key because passionate can be interchanged with obsessed.
Yeah.
Some people may look at me and say, JW, you're obsessed.
Right.
I go, no, I'm passionate about what I do. Right.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that there is a craft. You come with some talent, you come with some ideas, you have something in you. I always say that if you wake up thinking about that thing and you go to sleep thinking about that thing, that in between space, it's your job to do something about it.
Yeah.
If you're religious like I am, if you believe in the higher power, then that's God speaking to you. Something has been put into your mind, into your brain, whoever may have put it there, whatever you believe, but it's in there for a reason. It's your job to honor it.
Right.
Honor it. And so the way you honor it is by doing the work. So for me, it was taking my butt to acting school and studying the craft of acting. And I'm still studying, by the way. So let that also be another lesson that, success is never owned, it's rented, and the rent is due every day.
Yeah.
So despite my successes, I'm still looking to learn, always looking to get better. I'd love to be something like the Latino version of Denzel. Or The Rock or something. Like I still am aspiring to do those other things.
You could always get into lucha libre, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's do it, bro.
Let's do it, bro. I could see you Monday nights, man. Nah.
Dude, let's do it.
Yeah, man. How important you think is a positive mindset in achieving your goals and dreams? You just mentioned all those, all those important qualities, right? So how important is mindset, you think?
Mindset is everything. There's so many books about mindset. It's something that, unfortunately, a lot of young people aren't taught. I know I was never taught about the power of the mindset,
Right. Yeah.
But I think it's critically important. I think there's so much literature out there that talks about this in different kind of ways. But what you do is you start to create an inner dialogue, right? So the words that are spoken to us, when they feel good, we know it.
Right.
When they're spoken about to us or about us and they're bad, we know that as well.
Right.
The power of words that are spoken to us are those things. They're powerful. But the ones that we speak to ourselves in our mindset are equally, if not greater, more powerful than anything that anyone can ever speak to us. So by having a trained mindset, having dialogue that we reprogram into our brains about who we are and what we're capable of, I can go on and on about how important that is.
Yeah, it's so important, right? It's all about the mindset and all about, it all starts in between the ears, right?
Right. General Mattis, a Marine Corps general, said the most precious real estate in a battlefield is right between your ears.
Yeah. Yep. Great point there. How important you think was, last couple of questions, important was, I wrote a book on networking externally, right? So for you, how important was it to you to network internally and being able to understand relationships and have those relationships in the NYPD to help you, pursue your dream? It's skill to have.
Yeah, so, I work for the MTA PD, but the MTA, yeah, it's okay. The MTA, having those relationships, it's an unusual story, mine. because most cops aren't talking about their next audition.
Right.
They're talking about, hey, I want to make detective. What do I have to do?
Right.
So I think it's a little bit different in my case. I guess if I had to make a comparison about the importance of those internal relationships, it's just having, whether it be, there's a famous saying, I'd rather have, 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Right.
Right. So having those 4 quarters, those 4 really good friends that'll support you, that'll cover you, that'll encourage you, and they're out there and they're like-minded, they may want to get into something else outside of the job. So I think that was important. And I try to always surround myself with people like that, block the haters.
Exactly. Block all the haters. That's right. That's correct. All right, my friend, where could people find you? Whether it's for real estate in general, whether it's acting, where could they find you?
I'm available through my website, which is my name, jwcortes.com, but I'm also very active on social. I love social media. I've been using it a lot lately because I just became president of the Detective Rafael Ramos Foundation. I guess for your viewers and listeners, just to recap that, in 2014, 5 days before Christmas, on December 20th, 2014, 2 police officers were sitting in their patrol car, and a crazed lunatic with what I say is just pure evil in his heart, he shot and killed them. And that story resonated throughout America. It sent a shockwave that everyone felt. And I joined the foundation, which the widow, Maritza Ramos, she created in his honor about a year or so after. And then just this month, a few weeks ago, I became president of that foundation. And so using my celebrity and all of my connections with, Dr. Borja and everyone else that I know.
Thank you. Exactly. I
hope to continue doing the great work that the foundation has already done and just really expand it into like a tri-state movement,
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I know I remember that day well, that tragic accident that occurred, or tragic incident, that occurred. So thank you. Thank you for everything you do for the community. We really appreciate it. You have no idea. Thank you so much. All right, man. So from that being said, J.W. Cortés, thank you so much for your time. And hopefully you guys learn a little bit more about J.W. Cortés and everything he's doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Anytime. Take care. Thank you for listening to the Dr. B Show, sponsored by 111 Spa and Aesthetics. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and rate the show on your favorite platform.